again to Movin Right Along, a snow-covered podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch A Muppet Family Christmas 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your extremely special guest, Joe Hennes.
Indeed. And today we are here to watch minutes 27 and 28 of A Muppet Family Christmas, in which Fozzie and the snowman get heckled, the storm gets worse, and the Swedish Chef prepares to cook Big Bird. So we pick up with the snowman giving Fozzie the setup for a joke in their comedy routine. He says, "Hey Fozzie, did you hear about the church that burned down?" And while he's delivering this line, Fozzie is doing this adorable dance move. Like, I wish I could describe it. I can demonstrate it and the two of you can see me, but like he has his hands out and is just kind of like bouncing them up and down, and yeah, it's great. it's
good shtick is what it is.
Yeah, very good shtick, and I guess requires a not significant amount of coordination with whoever is right-handing Fozzie here.
Yeah,
or maybe somebody's doing both hands.
That's possible, yeah. It's pretty synchronized. But then before Fozzie can come in with the punchline, Statler and Waldorf cut him off and say, "Holy smoke!" And the crowd eats this up.
I feel like that joke is so edgy for Fozzie. Like,
yeah, it's a religion joke.
That's true. Yeah, you're talking to like, what if there were people inside that church?
Right, exactly.
That's terrible.
And this is a Christmas special, you guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So Fozzie though says that was their best joke, and then the
That
snowman,
was their best joke.
That was it. That was that's
That
what
was
they were
gonna be
leading
it?
with. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
guys,
you
come
might
on.
think that they would save their best joke for last, but no, they were leading with their best joke, and now the snowman is just totally ready to pack it in.
Hey, I have a quick question about this
Yeah.
because they obviously planned this. They knew what was going to be their best joke.
They've rehearsed it at some point.
What point did they have a chance to do that? Because in the earlier scene, like they have their song and dance number, and then Fozzie's basically like, "I gotta show Kermit," and then he runs off. We assume directly into the previous scene that we just came from, where he's like, "Hey Kermit, I gotta show you my new act."
Well, there is a scene where Fozzie tries to get Kermit to come out and see the snowman.
Right, but that's not more interaction with the snowman.
That's true.
No,
So
but you're right though. Like he could have gone back outside, and be like, "I tried to talk to Kermit, I couldn't. I gotta try again."
But as long as we're here, let's come up with some more material.
Yeah, it's
Let's see if we can work our way up to a tight 10 minutes. Is that what they say? A tight 10?
yeah, tight 10 or tight
In
5.
comedy? Yeah. Okay.
I think you can do any amount as long as it's tight. As long as you don't got
tight
those
27.
As long as you don't got those floppy, soggy jokes.
You do not want any sloppy comedy. Right, so the snowman is immediately ready to give up. He claims that it's because it's too hot in there and he's starting to melt. But I suspect that this is actually because this is the first time that he's ever bombed in front of an audience, and he's just so embarrassed that he wants to turn his back and hide.
I mean, it's a lot of firsts for him. He was just born 20 minutes ago.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's very intimidating.
I feel like if this were a newer Muppet thing, they would do some kind of melting effect on the snowman. Like, it would be a different puppet that's thinning out or something, even.
Yeah, maybe. Or just some kind of computery, morphing effect.
I'm thinking of Old Gonzo. Like how they built new puppets for Old Gonzo in Haunted Mansion. I don't know.
Right.
At the very least, I feel like they could have had him start to melt, and then I'll say Pepe because he doesn't exist yet. Pepe's walking behind him, and you hear squish squish because now the carpet's wet.
Yeah, right, yeah. That would be
like that one little extra bump it bump, at the end of a joke. Yeah,
that's a very Kirk Thatchery joke.
Yeah, that's probably why I thought Pepe would be appropriate. To be like, what is this? Okay, my feet's so wet.
Or some character scooping little pieces off the snowman to make snow cones with.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is very warm in that house because there's 100 people in there, so I'm sure there is something to that. But that's when Statler says, "Well, you know what they say." Waldorf says, "If you can't stand the heat, get out of the farmhouse." The audience loves this, but I think this is not Statler and Waldorf's best material.
Well, it's funny because it's one of those things that I say a lot, but it's like
Really?
Just because this whole special is ingrained in my head,
Yeah.
and if it's hot, that's what I like. Here's the thing:
If somebody comments on how hot it is, you say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the farmhouse.
If anytime someone says the word expand, if I'm at work and a student says expand, I say, like you frogs expand.
And your student immediately says, no, that's a myth.
Wait, I want to try something.
Never.
I want to try something. Anthony, if I told you it's too hot, what would you say?
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the farmhouse.
If
If I tell you it's too cold, what do you say?
There's a polar bear inside trying to keep warm.
I would say it's cold enough out there to freeze your Winnebago.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
See, I was Fozzieing.
Oh, yeah.
You failed the test, Anthony. I'm so sorry. You have to get off the podcast now.
My thing is from this too. Like it's not like I'm saying some random thing. It's a different line from this special, and that's a failure, I guess.
I would love to hear you say that to somebody, though, and then they would be like, no, Anthony, that's not the expression. It's if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Like, where did you get that from?
And I'll just be like, Muppet Family Christmas. You gotta
Statler
check it out.
Waldorf.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
So Fozzie guides the snowman to the back porch, where I guess he'll start to refreeze. The snowman does this thing where he throws his head back in despair, which is a very nice little bit of puppetry by Richard Hunt. And you just feel so bad for that snowman. And that is the end of the career of the comedy team of Snowman and Bear.
Wait, I do want to say, as he's walking away, throwing his head up in despair, everyone applauds.
That's true, yes.
They're applauding the fact that they just bombed.
You don't think it's like, oh, good try, or
no, I think they're applauding
Statler and Waldorf, and
yeah, like what a great comedy routine from these two old men who are sitting there minding their own business. Yeah. It's too bad, so sad.
Yeah, what a mean crowd.
And they weren't even invited. They just showed up and then crapped all over Fozzie's new career.
Yeah. We see characters like Grover and Prairie Dawn in that crowd around Ma Bear. Like, are they participating in this? They're supposed to be, nicer than that.
They're supposed to be children.
Yes,
impressionable
exactly.
Children.
Exactly. These other characters are setting such a bad example for them. Yeah, it was. This is a very short sequence, though, really. Like, when I think about this scene of them doing their comedy routine, I think of it being longer. But they tell part of one joke, and then that's it. That's the end.
That's so common in this special, where like things
right, yeah, we've talked about that.
In my mind, are like have outsized importance in the Muppet oeuvre, are last for 25 seconds in this special. Or something.
And it's like, all right, on to the next thing.
There's something coming up in these 2 minutes that I felt very much like that, but we'll get there in a second.
Okay. So meanwhile, Doc is observing the blizzard, which is really getting worse. And Kermit says he hopes Miss Piggy is okay. Doc turns to the Count, who happens to also be standing there, and says, "There is one worried frog." The Count says, "Aha! That's one worried frog." Then Robin comes in.
Go
ahead.
Well, I love how Doc is being so genuine. He's being so sympathetic. That's one worried frog. He thinks he's just behaving like a person.
Yep.
And then the Count turns it into some weird counting game like everything.
Right, like everything, exactly. Yeah. Then Robin comes in and says, he's not the only one. And the Count says, that's two worried frogs. And then as if the weather weren't bad enough already, there's lightning outside. So thanks, Count.
I was just going to say that. Do you think the Count is partially responsible for how bad this storm is? Because he can't
he's making
counting?
It worse right now. Yeah, for sure.
Can we talk about how great Jerry Nelson is?
Jerry Nelson is great.
He's great. Earlier, we talked about how Animal and Cookie Monster have lines very close to one another. And you think, oh, hey, Animal and Cookie Monster sound the same. Now, there are certainly Frank Oz characters who don't sound anything alike, who could converse. But like Robin and the Count, that's the same guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It didn't even hit me.
Sure, yeah.
Didn't even think about it.
They're just totally different characters.
Right, there's zero vocal similarity between those two characters, Yeah.
This is also another just perfect crossover moment, because you have these two characters from Fraggle Rock. There's Doc and Sprocket. Sprocket is there, like he's making like a doggy whimpering, like whistling through his nose sound, which again, I'm pretty sure Sprocket is a real dog. So they're doing their thing, and then the Count is doing his thing, and then there's Kermit and Robin doing their thing. It's just, yeah, just love to see all these characters interacting like this. Doc goes out to get more firewood, and Kermit and Robin stay by the window.
So when Doc says he's going to go get more firewood, this is, I don't know, probably the second or third time in the special, and there's a few more to come, of Doc realizing that, like, even though he came here for a nice quiet weekend, like, forget all the chaos of all these characters and whatever, like, he's going to work. Like, he's going to build something.
Yeah.
He's going to go chop down a tree. Like, Doc cannot sit still. I feel like even if all these Muppet characters hadn't shown up, he'd be like, I can't do this. I gotta tinker. You know, I gotta build something. I gotta do something.
Oh, you think that even if it had been just him and Sprocket, he couldn't just sit there and have a nice quiet Christmas?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, and like we've said, like on Fraggle Rock, every single day he wakes up and he's like, time to invent some nonsense.
Right.
That's right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
of course he isn't going to sit
I
there.
thought you were going to say that Doc is just, in the special, he's constantly realizing, like, all right, I'm the only human. I got to go chop firewood.
I mean, that too, but yes. Yeah, I'm the only one with 5 fingers on each hand. I guess I'm the only one who can hold an axe.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we've talked about this yet, but this is probably the best time to bring up another tiny detail. On the windowsill, there is a radio. It's like an old-fashioned radio with dials. It has a red light bulb on top, and this is a prop from an episode of Fraggle Rock. This is from...
It is a prop from the best episode of Fraggle Rock, in my
I will not argue with that. It's in the episode Manny's Land of Carpets, where I think Doc throws this radio away, or like throws it into the Fraggle hole. Is that what happens?
Doc is tinkering with it, and then it's like by the Fraggle hole. It's like Gobo is on one side of the hole and he hears the radio broadcast.
Okay.
And then he brings it in.
Oh, Gobo steals it then.
Gobo steals it, yeah.
Okay, so then the Fraggles listen to the radio and hear these commercials, which they interpret to be messages from some kind of like benevolent, omnipotent entities who want to offer them whatever they want in life. They split into like different factions based on the commercials that they hear and which commercial they believe. And
Right, well, because the announcer says, everything you want, your happiness is guaranteed at Manny's Land of
Carpets, right.
Right.
Yeah, so Gobo is like, wow, anything I want, we gotta go to Manny's Land of Carpets, everyone. Mm-hmm. And then one of them is Bubba's Burger Barn.
Yeah, and Large Marvin, who we're going to see later, spoiler, is the leader of the Bubba's Burger Barn faction. What a great... Oh, let's go watch that, you guys.
And then there's Sally's Spotless Cleaners, which Boober is very interested in.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The Fraggles split into different factions, kind of like different religions in the world. And wow, Fraggle Rock, guys.
And like all the best Fraggle Rock episodes, it is filled with existential dread.
Yeah, totally.
What a great show, man.
So do we think that Doc would be surprised to see his radio that has somehow transported itself from his workshop into a Fraggle hole? I think the episode ends with it back in his workshop, but like let's keep going with this, and like somehow makes its way through the Fraggle hole in Ma's basement into the farmhouse.
Sometimes products are mass-produced and multiple people buy the same one.
Did Doc not build that radio though in the episode?
Oh, you're right, he did.
Because it has a light bulb on it that flashes every time
You're
like
right,
a broadcast
yeah.
comes in.
You guys are right, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So he didn't even notice. If it weren't for the storm, which distracted him, and this worried frog, then maybe he would have seen that his radio somehow made it into a farmhouse in North Dakota.
It's a good thing that I don't think they turned this radio on in the special, because the whole scenario could have played out all over again. And
That's right. You got Grover going to Manny's Land of Carpets.
Right. So that was lucky. Then we cut from the somber to the ridiculous as we go to the kitchen, where the Swedish chef is banging on pots with spoons.
Just like a little kid. It's awesome.
Yeah, what is he
Why
doing?
Is he doing that?
He's preparing the pots for the cooking of the meal by banging on them.
It's just because it's hilarious. That's why.
Yes, that is why, because it's hilarious. And then Big Bird comes in, and he asks, did you wish to talk to me about something, Mr. Cook, sir?
Big Bird is such a good boy.
Yeah.
I love that he calls him a cook, even though
Mr.
like
Cook,
it's just
sir.
in our head, we always think of him as the chef. And like if he had said Mr. Chef, sir, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But the fact that he doesn't know the guy's name, he's like, oh, he's the cook.
Yep.
Not the chef, he's the cook.
Mr. Cook,
Love it.
sir, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's funnier. The chef is very happy to see Big Bird. He says, "Unger schmurder," and starts waving a mallet, which he's apparently planning. I don't know what he's planning, actually, because there's no way that he can hit Big Bird on top of his head to knock him out.
He's going to get him right in the kidney.
He's just like going to smack him into submission.
He also starts salting Big Bird.
Yeah, that happens in a second.
Salt shaker on him, which Big Bird is not plucked.
No.
Like, there's no reason to pour salt on him now.
Anthony, he's not a good chef.
That's true.
I don't know if you know this about the Swedish Chef. He's not really good at his job.
That's true. That's true.
That's why the only gig he could get apparently is on a TV variety show.
Right. He stars in comedy sketches on a
Right.
theatrical indoor television program.
Right, yes, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter because Big Bird suddenly turns and knocks the chef down with his large tail feathers, and there's another terrific sound effect, which is kind of a bonk as the chef falls down. Love that.
Sorry,
one.
what was that sound effect, Ryan?
Bonk. Is that accurate, would you say?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like that plus like the clanging of pots and pans at the same time.
Yeah, the clatter of everything that the chef is knocking down. So Big Bird then is asking the chef questions about the Christmas dinner that he's working on. This is where the chef is following him around and shaking salt on him. But then Big Bird presents the chef with a gift-wrapped box. It's chocolate-covered birdseed, and he made it himself.
Okay,
that's what he says.
Yeah, so we both had the same idea, right? Which is that Bob or Maria helped and actually made all of it.
I was thinking maybe David, like down at Hooper's.
Yeah, I was thinking he definitely bought it at Hooper's.
Right.
Like he can't even wrap it himself. We know that.
Well, I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Maybe he wrapped it, and that's how he feels like he can justify saying that he made it himself. But who knows?
I don't know. He's got 3 fingers on each hand. That's hard to wrap.
by he wrapped it, again, you mean he stood there while, like, Susan wrapped it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. It was his idea, but that's how he takes credit for
More
it. Yes.
likely, yeah.
That's like if I buy something for you on Amazon and just have it shipped to you. It's like it's still a gift from me. I still did it.
Right.
But I literally
I put it in the box myself.
Except for putting in my credit card number.
I shipped it myself. Yeah. But so the chef is taken aback by this sudden show of generosity. He says, "Und du schmör der Mürger more?" And Big Bird explains that he wanted to give the chef something because he knows that he's from Sweden and he's away from his family and friends during the holidays. So earlier we speculated a little bit about how far in advance the Sesame Street characters knew they were going to end up staying overnight at this farmhouse. So the fact that Big Bird planned this in advance suggests that he must have had some advance notice that this was going to happen.
Or he brought chocolate-covered birdseed for everybody. He just brought a whole bunch of it.
He brought one for whoever he might run into.
Yeah, like I don't think like this. If this was a gift that was specifically like I got you some Swedish fish because I know that you're from Sweden, like that, then I would agree with that. But it's like chocolate-covered birdseed. That's
some
something
IKEA
he likes.
meatballs.
Actually, now that I'm saying this, is Big Bird re-gifting? Like, did someone else get him chocolate-covered birdseed, and he's like, "I'll give it to the chef."
Chocolate-covered birdseed. I mean, I would buy it both ways because I believe that somebody would give Big Bird the gift of chocolate-covered birdseed, but I also believe that he's dumb enough to think that anyone else who's not a bird would also like chocolate-covered birdseed.
Yeah, no, that's legit. I agree with that. Especially when birdseed milkshake is on the menu at Hooper's, there's more than one customer buying that.
I'm not so sure.
There's other birds on Sesame Street.
Fair.
But also, like, anyone can drink a birdseed milkshake. You don't have to be a bird.
No, but you have to like birdseed to want to purchase it.
Okay, but you don't think that, like, Mike was out there buying birdseed milkshakes just to see what they tasted like?
I mean, maybe, but that's what I'm saying is like maybe Big Bird's the only one. And that's why he's regifted. Like someone else got this for him as a gift, or this was the thing that he bought for himself to like tide him over until they finished with their caroling and go home.
He brought it to snack on the way.
Yeah. That's a good theory.
Just to clarify, Anthony, you just made a reference to Mike, a Sesame Street human that no one remembers. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
David Rudman remembers him.
We've already mentioned Maria and Susan and Bob and David, so you went for Mike.
Went for Mike. Well, remember when we did Tough Pigs 50 and 50 Sesame Street articles?
Yes.
I remember that.
For season 22, I watched 44 street stories from season 22.
Whoa.
And brother, Mike was all over the place.
Oh, nice.
So that diseased my brain.
Okay,
and
yeah,
now
Mike
I think of Mike as one of the main guys.
Great. I'll have to go watch some good Mike episodes.
I've definitely seen Mike in more stories than I've seen Nina, or what? Is that her name?
Yeah,
That's her name,
yeah.
right?
Nina is the current, one of the current cast members.
I don't watch
Look,
those.
you would have seen more Nina episodes if they were still making 120 episodes a year.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Nina doesn't have as many opportunities to be
right. I'm sure Nina's a lovely person. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch those new Fs.
Well, now I want you to write a Tough Pigs article comparing and contrasting Nina and Mike.
Okay.
Just write the oral history of Mike, Anthony.
Okay, hey, listeners, that sounds like a good chance to plug the oral history of Mo Freckle, an article I wrote in November. Go read it. Thanks, Joe.
It's the best thing.
Yes,
it's the best thing
everyone
ever.
go read it. Yeah. Okay, where the heck were we?
Well, we were talking about the chef and the gift and all that, and I do want to just say about that real quick. I this is such a rare occasion of someone pointing out that, like, it's not just that the chef has like a funny voice that we can understand what he's saying, but like he's actually from another country. He's actually really far away from home, and like we could be a little more sensitive to that instead of laughing at him. I think that I can't think of another example where something like that happens.
No, that's true. I mean, you can fly to Sweden, but maybe I guess it's an expensive ticket.
I mean, he's got a job
every year at Christmas.
Like that's keeping it. He's got to work,
Right. Yeah.
Although, does he now that the Muppet Show's over? Like, we don't know.
I don't know, man. He's still hanging out with them for some reason.
Yeah. Or is the Muppet Show over? I mean...
No, I suppose, the Muppet Show could still be running.
They're still doing it in the theater every week. So then Big Bird, who is displaying a lot of emotional maturity for a 6-year-old, says that he knows there are places and people and things that become very special around Christmas. And he starts singing Chestnuts Roasting at... And that is where this clip ends.
On what? What are chestnuts roasting on?
We will have to come back tomorrow and find out. Chestnuts roasting on...
A Dean Martin special.
Chestnuts roasting on Dean Martin himself?
Yes.
I think that's just where the song ends. I don't think they're roasting on anything. They're just roasting on and on.
Chestnuts, yeah.
Roast on chestnuts.
Keep on roasting. Keep roasting them chestnuts. So... Yeah, that's the end of the clip. So do either of you have any final thoughts on these 2 minutes?
No. I'm spent.
No, they're pretty good minutes. Good minutes.
Yes, very good minutes. And we'll have 2 more great minutes tomorrow, listeners, so come back and join us then as we continue to roast those chestnuts on another episode of Moving Right Along. Holy smoke!